Hey, thought I'd check in with you. Let me turn the air down. So what I want to do today is just allow myself to be in that space where the continuity of infinite possibilities can emerge from the ether. There is a space inside of us all where the Christ is the only message. You know, the Christ message, it really has a meaning. It's not a man who gave a lecture. The Christ message is not about a man who gave a lecture. The Christ message is about a consciousness that is always speaking to us when we are in our right mind, when we are in our right intuitive brain, casting our net on the right side of the boat, being righteous. These are all clues. This righteousness is the void of lack and want. Everything that is left brain is driven by want. It's driven by approval seeking, safety seeking, or control seeking. Now, these are dysfunctional states of awareness. These are the reasoning states of hell that take us into the state of dis-ease, discord, and strife. That's why man plans and God laughs, because man is always seeking approval, safety, or control. And every time you got yourself in trouble and you fell into a dream of terror, it's because you were wanting something. You were wanting safety, approval, or control. When you were free of that want, when you were whole again, when you were at peace within yourself, requiring nothing outside of yourself, you were resurrecting in the I am presence. You were in the resurrection. In the resurrected state of the I am presence, there is no lack that seeks for its own want. There is no self-preservation. There's no personalized individual self anywhere to be found. There's only the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent I. The all-seeing I that is the governing consciousness of all creation, running a perfect universe right here, right now, which is why the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You live in a perfect world that God is organizing on your behalf, speaking to you constantly through the Christ message, atoning you with the Spirit, and fulfilling your heart's desires. And this is all happening as a result of your inheritance from the Father, because of the Father's will, which is given to you by grace. It's not the sweat of the brow that gets you there. This was all given to you by grace. I and the Father are one. If the Father is, and outside of the Father is nothing, then how is the deficiency of what you see, smell, hear, taste, and touch even possible? It's only possible when we react to it. You see, it is your reaction that creates the very response within your ego mind that drives you into the place of want or lack. The forms that are moving around about me mean nothing. There is absolutely no meaning in any of this. If you strip the meaning of this world, all of the good and bad and power that you've ascribed to the things that move in the physical realm, you will discover that there is nothing out there. That all is within thought and all is within consciousness, and awareness itself is your true existence. And that awareness is already self-organizing. Awareness already has inherent governance capacity within itself. It doesn't require your intervention. Take no thought for your life. When you intervene in what God is already observing within God's own reflection, within God's own creation, as the allness of spirit. When you intervene, all of the troubles begin to appear. They are the state of ego projections, looking at the mind that is known as the carnal mind itself, mortality, fiction. It's all being done by ascribing power to the objects that move in time and space. Objects that move in time and space are the result of adhering to double-mindedness. It is the belief in two powers, it's the belief in two kingdoms, spirit and matter. What you see moving through time and space is called matter. Matter is a condition of lack and discord. It's a deficiency with no root. When you take that deficiency and perceive it and judge it as something that is real, you commit a spiritual crime called blasphemy. You bring that evidence before the Holy of Holies, which is the imagination of spirit, and you bastardize the gospel by presenting it with evil. You bring an unholy sacrament before the Lord. So to undo all of this, you have to stop judging by appearances. You have to stop judging what you think you saw, what you think you heard. Your entire history is fabricated nonsense. It doesn't exist. And all the problems that you keep holding on to are nothing other than your own observation about something you think you saw, something you think you felt, something you think you heard. It was an object in time and space, including your physical body, which has no life, no root, no substance, no intelligence, because there is nothing to matter. Matter is a non-existence. Matter is a non-entity. Matter is the serpent in the garden, trying to create division by creating two atoms. The split within the one into multiple trillions of cells in your body, billions of people on the planet. These are all artificial constructs, not the world that God created. The substance of spirit is unification of the self. It is the one life, one power, one presence, one mind, in which you are the thought, the afterthought of God. You've already been created and already had your steps organized. You're already in the perfect Garden of Eden right now. You only have to realize what already is. And to realize what already is, you have to step out of thinking and feeling, which create perpetual war. And you have to come into sensing from the spirit. I sense. I'm in my higher self. I am in the full potential awareness of the I am presence, knowing that there is only me. And these qualities of goodness, peace, love, patience, kindness, joy, faith, love, all of these are the true report of reality that can never be objectified in any condition known as matter. Back of matter, we find there is no governing law. It is the lawless one, known as Satan in the Bible. These are projections from ego awareness that are coming to receive spiritual food. They are hungry, deficient, starving. They lack, they want. Their bellies are not full. So we are here as the light of this world to feed our truth, our awareness into the space where there seems to be a deficiency or an evil appearing before our lying human eyes. So as the appearance comes before my lying human eyes, I recognize that I need not react at all. For it is the universal nothingness that is attempting to hiss in the garden. It's trying to teach me of two powers, of good and evil. Separate me from my inheritance of being in the Garden of Eden already, right now. So when I stand still, knowing that I am God, when I refuse to worry, when I shut down the human mind, I open the channel for the divine mind to come through in the fifth and sixth dimensions and resurrect me into the kingdom of righteousness, pulling all the energy from the left brain over to the right brain, opening up pure awareness and reflecting the completed state of divine works right now. I perceive a money problem. I stand still and know that I am God. God is running a perfect universe right here, right now. There is no deficiency in God's mind. All governing activity in all creation happens in God's mind. God's mind is the volition of thought which moves the energy and creates the substance of spirit. And spirit is the only reality. Matter appears before me as a judgment made in human consciousness that is a lying and deceitful graven image. I don't give my attention to graven images. I fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Because I fear the Lord, I don't bastardize the Lord's creation with ignorance by trusting in the deficiency and giving it a place to find rest in my thought. Instead, I remain still, unmoved, imperturbable, relaxed, at peace. And I qualify everything in my world with perfection. I am perfection. I am the resurrection and the life. Right before me stands the Christ, and there is no other. Right before me is the fullness of all of the goodness in all creation, forever expanding itself as God's will, bringing me the bread of life. There can only be one presence here. And that presence is permitting no evil. It is permitting no disease. It is permitting no lack or discord. And because I refuse to fear, I remain still in the awareness that I am the only consciousness here. The divine truth comes through me and purifies what seems to be unholy and brings about completion within its own awareness. And somehow, mysteriously, the bill gets paid. Somehow, magically, the disease reverses course and disappears back into the nothingness from where it came, which is nowhere. And somehow the relationship begins to blossom in a newness of spirit that organizes itself perfectly according to its own original blueprint. I no longer am using the will to live in a separate reality outside of what God has already given me. I no longer pursue the lusts of the flesh. More sex, more food, more money. Lack, lack, lack. Want, want, want. Strive, strive, strive. Hustle, hustle. Grind, grind. Stupidity. It's human stupidity. It takes you into the place of bondage, the poverty of the flesh. And it drives you insane in a carnal mind that is self-destruction by its own very nature, because it has no existence. So it must observe its own ignorance to its ultimate demise. Evil destroys evil. It is an abject illusion. You can't gain anything in a world out there. And you can't lack anything in the spirit within yourself. So which direction are you willing to turn? Are you done reacting to the world out there? Are you done giving away your power to illusions of form that move in time and space? To the false reports of the human senses that told you what you heard? You think you saw something, but it was never there. You felt discord, disease, depravity, but yet there was nothing but God's allness in that space, forever standing as the only presence within all of creation. Are you certain you want to keep that consciousness alive in your thought, where the only life it has is coming from? Or would you purify your thought now and see only truth? God is, full stop. Outside of God is not. Do I have to do anything? No, it's already done. Do I have to fight the battle? No. Exodus 14:14, if I remain still yet in peace, God will fight my battles. I am not responsible for God's creation. I am the beneficiary of God's creation that already has been done. Complete. Finished. The works are finished. Why would I strive in a world where the works are finished unless I was a fool? Why would I seek God when I'm coming from the source of the I am? How could I seek that which I already am unless I am blind and looking at a world that doesn't exist? How long will you suffer mortality when the consciousness of truth is the only one you ever had or could possess? You are divine intelligence made manifest as the reflection of that very intelligence, sustaining itself by its own perfection. In the absence of your human carnal mind, the revelation of truth is made known to you. It is the absence of your lack and want and striving where the truth is. They've got you chasing an illusion so that you'll never find what already is yours. And they are the thoughts of mortals. They are the manifest creation of nothingness, perishable rags that the Prince of Peace came and threw off to reveal the allness of spirit. Jesus showed up in perishable human flesh rags and cast them off to reveal there is no life outside of spirit, and spirit is already overcoming the world, because the world is a condition of ignorance. It's a shadow world. And what happens when the light comes on with the shadow? That world disappears into its native nothingness. Who or what can be against you if God is for you? When you come to the Lover's Retreat, you may not think it's worth it to be there. You have no clue what you're missing, because I am revealing to you in these nuggets how to open the kingdom of consciousness that is called heaven within yourself. And when that light turns on within your consciousness, it purifies your world by revealing itself as the only presence ever. And you rise out of the dark cloud of ignorance of a human life, and you find your true self, already ascended in the afterlife, receiving what God has already given you. The lover's retreat is about being in the togetherness. You are an eternal being of light and love. It's about knowing this from experience, not from theory. And to get to this space, I will get you to this space. You will be in the presence of the Christ within yourself. And you will remember how to get there. It doesn't mean you'll always be there. It means that whenever you sense that you're not there, because the world is getting pretty shady, the world is pretty troubling to you, you've lost your sense of flow state, you're not in the awareness of pure bliss, you will know exactly what to do to get back there. And that's what I'm going to teach you. And it just so happens to be that that's the space where divine love also reflects itself as the fulfillment of your romantic desires.